Hi, my name is Madeline Johnson, and I teach fourth grade in the Scottsbluff Public School District. And the information that I found on tracking versus ability grouping was nothing really new. One author described it as those two words, tracking and ability grouping, as cousins. I think tracking more takes a negative connotation because in the past it has been associated with separating students based on gender, race, religious preferences, and then their ability. And it's kind of then determined that those students either go to vocational training or then go on to university based on those facts or socioeconomic status. And I think in the present and with my experience, ability grouping is more of the language we use today. And it is done within the classroom. Now, I have experienced it both ways where for math, I have taught it where we took the kids' ability levels just in math and we separated them into the 3 classrooms. And for that math period, they would come to whatever teacher had them, and we would teach based on their ability level. We felt after 1 year of doing that, it didn't really benefit the students. It didn't hurt them, but it didn't benefit them any more than being in a mixed ability classroom. So I am all for the ability grouped, being ability grouped within the classroom, because then we can, obviously the students will get the core curriculum based on your state standard or your district standards, and then based on whatever level they are in, you pull them into small groups and you teach them the same standards but at their level material. And I specifically do this for reading using small guided reading groups based on their text level and where they are with their reading level. And I feel like reading is easy to do because at least in the curriculum that we use in our schools, we can test them, and there's a baseline test, and so we have hard evidence to go by of what text level they actually are at, and then we can push forward using their own text level, but still teaching the same standards that we're teaching to all students. And this hopefully will then, and has in the past, allowed them to grow at a faster rate than if we were trying to teach them above their level. I find ability grouping harder in math, and this is probably just a personal preference because I do teach the core lesson to the kids, and then sometimes I do pull back, but I like them we have a lot of partner discussions in math, and they have to work out things in with their partners, but I have strategically placed the kids next to kids of their same ability so that they are able to, in fact, work it out together, where I won't have a higher kid next to a lower kid because the higher kid is usually the one that's telling all the right answers and the lower kid's not being able to think through the process at their own pace. So I don't necessarily ability group during math, but I do strategically place the kids around the room based on their level so I know where they are and where I need to focus my attention, or watch over them and listen to what they're saying to each other. And then my higher kiddos can then talk to each other and figure out different ways to show me how they solve the problem. And they have that higher level of thinking going on between those two. So it's not always just one kid answering the question. So that being said, I am in for ability grouping. I think that's about the only way I can picture a classroom working well. But I also think that having the mixed abilities in one classroom is advantageous to all kids. It allows some to step up as leaders. It allows others to learn more from their peers. But then you have the small groups where then you can have those kids that might not talk in the big group be more of a asset to the conversation in a smaller group with the kids that they feel comfortable speaking with. So all in all, it's positive. I don't think that anymore, at least from my personal experience, we use their socioeconomic status or gender or race against them. I specifically use their ability level to help me, and that makes me a better teacher. So I am all for the ability grouping. I understand the negative connotation of the tracking word and from where it's come from. And obviously I hope that that is not going on in any schools. I hope it's just all for the benefit of the kids, because if we're not here to benefit the students, then what's the point of teaching? So ability grouping, I think, is the best way to go about being able to meet the needs of all students within a mixed ability classroom. I have 23 kids right now, so it would be hard to meet the needs if I wasn't able to pull small groups back to assess them and know where they are level wise. So I am for ability grouping, and of course, education changes from year to year, and there might be something else that's better in the future. But for right now, ability grouping gives the teachers the ability to meet the needs of all students.